We are going to speak about paraphrasing tips. Before starting our lesson, we should know what is paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is simply a restatement of the information of the original text or passage so that it has the same meaning but in your own words. The phrase "in your own words" indicates that you have to write the original text or passage in your writing style by using different words. Paraphrasing is an art and a very important skill for writing, speaking, reading, and listening. So there are some tips and some examples of paraphrasing. The original sentence, for example, reading is a very important skill for many students. The paraphrased sentence would be, for many students, being skillful at reading is extremely important. Now, in this lesson, we are going to learn about quick and easy steps to effectively paraphrasing a text or passage. Step number 1. Before writing the examination writing, so you have to read and reread the original text or passage carefully and make sure you clearly understand what it says. This is a very important step because you cannot paraphrase if you don't understand. Therefore, you need to read it carefully and you must make sure that you understand it. If you are not able to fully understand the text or passage since it is too long or boring, then break it up to read it over a few seconds and reread until you understand it completely. Step number 2. Identify the main points and keywords of the text or paragraph. Ask yourself the following questions. What is the main idea of the text or paragraph? Who is the text or paragraph about? What is the text or paragraph about? When does it take place? Where does it take place? Why does it take place? Or how does it take place? Step number 3. Put away the original text or passage and rewrite it in your own words. Make sure to use different vocabulary with the same meaning and change sentence structures or the order of the words as necessary. Step number 4. Check to see the difference between the original text and what you wrote. Look at the difference in words and grammar. There are some techniques for effective paraphrasing. The first useful technique is using synonyms. Synonyms are different words, that have the same or similar meanings. For example, the original sentence, the hardest language to learn is Japanese. The paraphrased sentence would be, the most difficult to learn is Japanese. The most difficult language to be good at is Japanese. And the last one is, the most difficult language to master is Japanese. Next tip. Technique number 2. Change the order of words. If the original sentence has 2 or more clauses, change the order of the clauses. For example, the original sentence, if I am late again, my boss will be mad. Paraphrased one, my boss will be mad if I am late again. Next technique. Technique number 3. Change the form of the word. If the sentence uses a noun, you can rewrite the sentence by using adverb, adjective, or verb form of the word. Change as many words as you can. For example, the original sentence, in 2020, spending on mobile phones in Australia was around $20 million. The paraphrased one, in 2012, Australian consumers spent around $20 million on mobile phones. Example number 2. The original sentence, John is an accurate typist. The paraphrased one, John types accurately. In these examples, you can see the adjective is changed to adverb. So, next tip. Using antonymous, negatives, or opposite expressions. Another way of paraphrasing is to use antonyms to change a negative expression into a positive expression or a positive expression into a negative expression. The original sentence, Tom is short, paraphrased one is, Tom is not tall. Okay, technique number 5, using a phrasal verb. Instead of saying Susan discarded her old watch in the trash bin, so you can use Susan threw away instead of discarded her old watch in the trash bin. So next technique is change the active voice to passive voice or vice versa. The original sentence, I gave her a watch for her birthday. She was given a watch for her birthday. Next, someone has cleaned the table. The table has cleaned by someone. You may use. Next technique is number 7. Change from a clause to a phrase or a vice versa. The original sentence, after Mary studied, she went to bed. After studying, Mary went to bed. Now, technique number 8, change transitions. You know transitions. What is it? Although Bob has a good job, he still complains. You may use instead of also, but, for example, Bob has got a good job, but still complains. Bob has got a good job, however, he still complains. In these examples, you should be aware of punctuation. So, next technique is 9. Combining separating sentences. Long sentence can be divided into shortened sentences, or short sentence can be combined with other shorteneds to form long sentence. For example, Australia is a wonderful country which has many beautiful natural landscapes, as interesting history and friendly people. So the paraphrase sentence would be, Australia is a wonderful country. It has many beautiful natural landscapes and interesting history and friendly people. Technique number 10, if you don't know what kind of paraphrasing techniques, so you may use quotation, because sometimes we want to copy something we hear or read that sounds quite good, but we cannot do it since that's called copying and it may lead us to plagiarism. Now, what happens if you find a particular phrase or sentence that sounds quite good in our reading passage and we really don't want to paraphrasing, or we don't know to paraphrase? So there are the tips of paraphrasing examples, and you are given some examples to paraphrase. That's the end of our lesson.